Greetings and salutations. Your boy Yogi Bear here, and today we're just going to go over some basic data analysis on the executive orders that have been done since 2016 till today, and we will focus on some important ones. So after doing this, I went through every executive order and I put them into certain categories. Technology executive orders was the first category, and here's a screenshot of that, and I will go on to my data analysis of it. There are multiple executive orders regarding protecting the U.S. infrastructure from cyber attacks, protecting the U.S. infrastructure from electromagnetic pulses, quantum computing, artificial intelligence, space exploration and resources, and promoting small modular reactors for national defense and space exploration. So just from this layout, you see that he's protecting us from and strengthening our cyber resilience with quantum computing, artificial intelligence, and also strengthening our infrastructure from attacks from electromagnetic pulses. If you actually want to get down into that um, executive order more, they actually talks about weaponizing them as well. So it's pretty interesting stuff. The next category was human trafficking, corruption, and drugs executive orders. And here are the ones. There's 10 of them total. And just from the analysis, you can see that they're going after a transnational criminal organization tied to human trafficking, seizing the assets and property of anyone who is tied to the crimes against humanity or human trafficking, blocking the property of the government of Venezuela, and combating drug addiction and opioid crisis. Think Afghanistan and their major export. There's 26 of them regarding governmental department changes, and I'm going to talk about a couple of the ones that really stand out to me. Executive Order 13961, Governance and Integration of Federal Mission Resilience. In the screenshot below, you see a excerpt I took out from that one where it talks about enduring constitutional government, continuity of operations, and continuity of government. And this executive order derives its power from the National Security Act of 1947. Executive Order 13869, transferring responsibility and background investigations of the Department of Defense. Well, for the last 30, 40 years, the FBI has been in charge of doing all background checks for any government employee. So now you have to ask yourself, why was that power stripped from them? And then anybody who sees what's going on inside the committee hearings here of late, you'll understand why that was. And then Executive Order 13825, amendments to the Manual of Court Martials in the United States. And that one, when you get into it, it changes a lot of things, especially on who can be charged under court martials. Just think about that one for a minute and think martial law. Election integrity ones, these are very important. If you see, the first one was signed on May 11th, 2017, so basically right after Trump took office. A year later, he revoked it, and not even a couple months later, he signed 13848, imposing certain sanctions in the event of foreign interference in the United States elections. So just a recap of the timeline. Trump takes office, establishes the Presidential Advisory Commission on Election Integrity on May 11th, 2017, so right after the election. About a year later, he revokes it. A couple months later, he signs Executive Order 13848, imposing certain sanctions in the event of foreign interference in the United States elections. Now, one of the things that it says in that executive order is we will cut trade off with you. Now you just think about the backlog of shipping containers and stuff coming in and out of the ports of the United States. And finally, but not least, I went into all the ones that had to do with financial. And the one that really sticks out to me in this one is Executive Order 13772, which core principles for regulating of the United States financial system. This is the only executive order that Biden has revoked. And if you look at the picture, I've had it highlighted section B, section 1B is preventing taxpayer funded bailouts. So now you want to ask yourself, why was this one revoked and none of the others? It's your man Yogi Bear speaking, and thank you for listening.